the website, the school website. Okay, so few of you mentioned at the start, where's the teacher? Well, hi everybody, here I am. So I did join and I was watching you all from afar. So welcome very much to your Meet the Tutor event. So I'm going to be your form tutor from Rollover. So I'm really looking forward to meeting you all. In terms of just a little bit of housekeeping, first of all, either any students or any parents watching, can you please make sure your cameras are off and your microphones are off throughout the entire presentation. If there is any questions from anybody, I have turned the chat back on. So if there's any questions, just type them into the chat, and there is a question and answer session at the end of this. I can't see the chat at the minute, so please don't ask me anything that you need an immediate answer for. Anything specific though to your child or to you students, anything specific that you need to know, it's probably easier if you email me, or I'll give some other people's names that you can email, just for your protection, your data protection, okay, and your privacy. And obviously there's a couple of people that have tried to join this evening from other email accounts. Unfortunately, we can only access, let you access from your Rawmarsh account, okay, just to keep this absolutely secure. So that's just a little bit of housekeeping for this afternoon. Right, let's get started then. So this is what I'm going to be going through this afternoon. So I'm going to make the introductions to the key people in our team for year 6, and then from obviously you'll be year 7 in September. I'm going to go through the Rawmarsh Way, something really exciting, and you might have had something way at your primary school. I'm going to go through what our form time is going to involve, what the uniform expectations and equipment expectations are going to be, how the canteen works and how parent pay works, if you've not used that before. What is something really important to a Rawmarsh is your attendance, so we need to go through that. Some safeguarding information, our behaviour policy, what's going on with mobile phones, Chromebooks, if you're not sure what those are, I'll go through one of those, and then some other important information such as rewards, the Rawmarsh pledge, and then there'll be time at the end for any questions or any answers, anything you want to know. So please, if while we're going along, if there's something that comes to your mind, pop it in the chat now or while I'm talking. I won't be able to see it until the end, but I'll answer any questions at the end. But just a reminder, anything that's specific to your child, please, the probably easiest thing for their privacy is to email me. So let's get going. Hi everybody, I am Miss Forshaw. So I will be your tutor. So when you come to join us at the end of June, going into July, you'll be at 6I, and then from September we'll be 7I. Okay, so we're the last one of the year 6-7 tutors, but I always think that means that we're the best. So for those of you, you might have seen me, a few of you floating around your primary schools playing my piano. So I teach music and I also teach PSHE. I've been teaching for quite a long time. I've been teaching for over 14 years, and I've been at Rawmarsh now for 9 years. So it'll be my 10th year in September. And a little bit of a Mr. Skiroska's fun fact about ourselves. I used to be a lawyer. So my degree is law and music, but I couldn't stay away from music. So I came back and became a teacher. Some hobbies about me. I love my rock music. I absolutely love it. I love going for walks with my dog, watching Formula 1, and I'm a Liverpool fan. We're not doing very well. Well, we haven't done very well this season. But the most important thing at the bottom is my email. So my email is aforshaw@rawmarsh.org. You might want to make a note of that, write it down, take a screenshot, however you want to do that. That is the best way of contacting me, either for something tonight you need to know or the next few weeks. That's the one to email me on. Okay, moving on then. These are the two probably most important people in our year group, your head of year and your SPM. So our head of year is Mrs. Hazard. So she's the lady on the left-hand side. Mrs. Hazard's a science teacher. And then your student manager is Miss Glover. So she's not a teacher, so she'll be there for sort of day-to-day when Miss Hazard's not available. So Miss Hazard and Miss Glover are the two important people in our year group. Right, first things first, the Rawmarsh Way. Now, some of you might have had a few tours recently around Rawmarsh. Now things are starting to open up a bit with COVID relaxations. And you might have seen some of these massive posters around school. You might have had something similar at your primary school. And we call it the Rawmarsh Way. And it's basically everything that makes us better about ourselves, the way we live, the way we are with each other, and how it's a sort of set of values that we follow in Rawmarsh. So there's 12 statements on the left-hand side. We believe in ourselves. We take responsibility for our choices and our actions. We take risks. We rise to a challenge. We dream big. We work hard and we never give less than our best. We're proud of our achievements. We're respectful and we listen to others. We take pride in our appearance. We support others around us. We're prepared to make mistakes and learn from them. We take pride and look after our school community, and we are equipped to learn. So the basic values of our Rawmarsh Way. And those 12 statements, it's everything we want to instill into students and staff as well. We all live the Rawmarsh Way. So through the Rawmarsh Way, we, as it says on the PowerPoint, we learn, we believe, and we succeed together. So those are all really, really important. And day in, day out, we follow the Rawmarsh Way. So let's go through your school days, how the school day is going to look. Might be quite different from your primary school day. So we start the day off with form every morning, and that runs for 20 minutes in the morning. And then we go to period 1. So that will run from 9 o'clock till 20 past 10. Then period 2 from 20 past 10 to 11:40. Then you get your first break of the day. So that's for half an hour where you get a chance to have food or just see your friends, hang out a little bit. And then period 3 is 10 past 12 till 1:25. And then you get a second break of the day. So 1:25 to 1:55. And then finally, finishing off the day, you have period 4. So 1:55 and we finish the day at 10 past 3. So on your very first day at Rawmarsh, you're going to go straight to your form room. Now, we're not quite sure where those are going to be at the minute, so that information will be sent home nearer the time and which room you need to go. So in our tutor group, every single morning, you'll make friends quickly, even if there's people in there that you've never met before. So every single morning, we'll get together, see how everybody is, and start the day ready to go. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to be with those same people all day. So you'll mix and match with different groups of people in your lessons as well. But as a form, we're like a little family. So we support each other. And on that very first day, you will also get your timetable for the rest of the week. But I would bring your PE kit just in case you have PE on that very first day. You might not, but you might as well. So just in case, bring your PE kit on your first day. So what happens then? Well, there's a warning bell, and that goes at 8:40. And that warning bell around the whole school, no matter where you are, that signals the start of the day. Go to tutor. And then tutor will start officially at 8:45. And there's a second bell then. So you have 5 minutes to get from where you are to the tutor room. And I'll start tutor then at 8:45. That's when the register is taken. Okay, so after 8:45, you're still not there. Rush very quickly. And then one morning a week, we'll have an assembly in the main hall. Now, if you've had a school visit, you might have seen the main hall. It's absolutely massive. And we'll all get together in there, and Miss Hazard will take an assembly. And that's once a week. I'm not sure what day, but I'll let you know that one. So some activities we might do in our form time. We might look at something called the Rawmarsh Pledge, and I'm going to go through that a little bit later. We might do something called themed learning, where we'll look at something over a whole week to do with a theme. And we'll do lots of different activities to do with that theme. We might do some reading. I absolutely love reading. Wish I had some more time. We might do some debates. So if there's any of you out there with, of course, I love a bit of a debate, got lots of chance for that. We'll look at something called your effort. So we'll every half term or so, there's an effort collection. So we'll have a look at how brilliant you all are. We'll look at your attendance. If there's been any sort of absences or anyone that we're going to celebrate if you've got 100% attendance, which hopefully you all will be. And then we're going to look at something called CFPs and CFCs. And I'm going to go through that again in a little bit more detail later on. So that's kind of every single day. We've got lots of different activities to go through. But the whole point of tutor is we set up ready for the day. We get ourselves ready for learning. So let's have a look at our uniform now. Now, you might have older brothers or sisters in school, so you might already know all about the uniform, or you might be absolutely brand new to Rawmarsh. So our school uniform looks like this. Black tailored trousers. So those are sort of just normal sort of smart trousers, or a black knee-length skirt. But they have to have the Wickersley Partnership logo on them, and that's in the upper part of the leg. So I think it's the left-hand side. Then there's the white shirt, normal white shirt, and a clip-on school tie. So the tie is so it's got a black and a gold and a white stripe on it. And then the black V-neck jumper, or you can have a cardigan as well. Again, it's got the Rawmarsh logo and the Wickersley Partnership Trust logo on the left side of the sleeve. So it looks really smart, actually, the black. Moving on from that, this is your PE kit. So in terms of the PE kit, again, it's got the Rawmarsh logo on it. It's that black, white and gold sort of yellow colour. So you've got shorts, there's leggings or tracksuit bottoms, and they've all got the logo on. There's a T-shirt with a logo on. So you can see the third one from the right, that's the T-shirt. You can have a hoodie if you're a girl, or you've got a 3/4 zip top for the boys. So it's sort of a zip down the front there with a little bit of a polo neck. Black socks, and then your trainers as well. Now the trainers are your own. You don't need to buy special Rawmarsh trainers for those. And the PE staff will be able to give you a bit more information about certain types of trainers that are, I think you're not allowed black soles because they mark the court floor. So that's just giving me an idea of the PE kit. Again, if there's any further information about sort of uniform PE kit, pop it in the chat and I'll try and answer those questions at the end. So in terms of footwear, these are ones that are allowed. So there's a really simple, clear rule about football: plain, black and leather. That's it. No stripes, no logos, no patterns, none of those little Vivienne Westwood shoes with the big thing at the front. Just plain, black and leather. You can't go wrong with that. So there's some examples on the screen there. So some nice lace-up shoes. These ones here, I suppose you could say they are trainers, but they're plain, they're black and they're leather, so they're absolutely fine. Little dolly shoes or little brogues, all absolutely acceptable. What I would say in winter, maybe those dolly shoes aren't quite appropriate when it gets a bit wet and a bit snowy. So maybe have a backup pair just in case for a bit more wintry weather. These ones are not acceptable though. So this one here, sort of pair of Adidas trainers, this got the stripes and it's got the logo. You've got a sort of plain black pumps. Yes, they're plain and black, but they're not leather. The boots here, sort of the buckles, not appropriate. Again, another not leather pair, little plain pumps. And then I've mentioned before, the Vivienne Westwood ones, plastic, and then they've got the logo on as well. So just plain black and leather for those school shoes. Another thing that's sort of started to become fashionable is the eyelashes, the nails, the hair. Now they look absolutely glamorous, but keep them at home. Save them for home. You don't need to wear them in school. In fact, they're not allowed. So the makeup, if you are one that wants to wear makeup, it's fine. We're not going to say no makeup, but just keep it minimal, keep it discreet. We're not allowed false eyelashes and we're not allowed false nails. It's not because we're mean, it's health and safety at the end of the day. The amount of students who have ripped nails off and caused themselves injuries, or they've ripped their eyelashes off, got themselves an injury. If we had £1 for all that, we'd be quite rich. It's just health and safety, plain and simple, so just not allowed. Extreme haircuts. Now, that's something that if you are concerned about, you can email me privately about that, or email Miss Hazard or email Miss Glover. So no extreme haircuts. Jewellery, obviously sort of simple, small earrings, absolutely fine. Little studs, little hoops, no problems. But facial piercings, not allowed. And that goes for staff as well. And then this is a really good one, though. This is one that is allowed. These little badges. Now, if you've got an older brother and sister, you might have seen these badges. And we get the gold, bronze or silver badges. And these are awarded every term in celebration events. And if you're absolutely lucky to get one of those, you can wear them as part of your uniform. Some students like to wear them down the ties. Some students like to wear them on the V of their jumper, and they look brilliant. So if you're really lucky and you get one of those badges, definitely wear those with pride. So in terms of equipment, we are going to do equipment checks every single day. I love equipment. And what I'm expecting of you is 2 pens. Why? Because if one breaks, you've got a spare one. 2 pencils. Again, if one breaks or you run out of lead, whatever, you've got a spare one. A ruler, a sharpener, and a rubber. That's all you need. Very small little pencil case is fine. 2 pens, 2 pencils, 1 ruler, 1 rubber, and 1 sharpener. And then a bag. Why do you need a bag? Because you're going to be given maybe your PE kit to carry, your lunch, your pencil case, you might have some books to take home, various different things. Please do not turn up with a tiny little man bag, as I call them, those little things that some people wear. A decent sized bag that's got enough to carry your equipment in. And it's part of our Rawmarsh Way, and it will be checked every single morning. Okay. Asda, Morrison's, they all do these little equipment stationery sets for not a lot of money. So how does the canteen work? Well, this is a picture of our canteen. So it's a lot bigger than that picture. It goes over the other side as well. Now we're called what's called a cashless school. So you might already have it set up, but if not, we need to get you set up with parent pay, and our finance team can do that for you. They'll either send you a letter home or a barcode you can take to the shop. And I think they're already planning on doing those letters for you. And that's how to set the system up. So it's completely cashless. So you can pay with your bank card and top that up. So one thing that is really popular with our students is the meal deal. So you get a sandwich or a wrap, a snack, so like such a cookie, for example, and then a drink as well. And that's £2.15. And you get quite a lot of food for that, actually. That's a really popular one, if that's something you're looking at. In terms of when you guys roll over, so for the first 2 weeks, you will be going to lunch 10 minutes early. That's purely because there's so many of you to try and get you fed, but also just so you get a bit more used to the canteen without all the other students in there, because it can get really busy. So if we get you all fed and watered early on, then you've eaten, and we make sure everybody has had a chance for something to eat. Okay, but there is 2 other serving hatches. Now, around the back of the canteen, there's 1 serving hatch there, and there's another one further down next to the main hall. So there's another 2 food outlets that you can get. They don't serve everything that they have in the canteen, but most of it. So the sandwiches, the pizzas, etc., they do have down there. So you can always get food. Attendance is really important. So our figure that we aim for is above 95%. Anything below that, the attendance team will start to be questioning. And why? Why is attendance so important? Well, there's figures to show the more you're in school, the better you do. Simple as. You really should be aiming for 100%. Any holidays really should be taken during holiday time. Yes, they are a little bit more expensive, but at the end of the day, you need to be in school to learn. Anything when you drop below 90% though, it's classed as persistent absence, and that's where obviously things start to get a little bit more serious, and attendance are starting to question why you're off so much. At 95%, that does mean you've lost though 2 full weeks of your learning. So really try your hardest to get into school. Now everybody is ill at some point. We're only human, but a little cough and a cold, you can be in school. Okay. So basically, the more you're in, the better you do. And if you get to 100%, you get a certificate, photograph, and it's put all over the school website or wherever like that. We celebrate it. There's massive posters around school with everybody that's got 100%. So that's something to look forward to as well. Something now a bit more serious in terms of looking after you is your safeguarding. So our role in schools is to make sure you're safe. Whether we teach you or whether we're pastoral, doesn't matter who we are, that's our job as adults. Every single member of staff in school, we're responsible for your safeguarding, as we call it. And everybody in school is trained to talk to you. So if you've got any worries, any anxieties, any stresses, you can talk to any member of staff in school. Me as your form tutor, you might be wanting to talk to me in the morning, and that's absolutely fine. Miss Glover and Miss Hazard as your head of year in SPM. Great, talk to them. But we do have a specialist team as well. So we've got specialist members of staff in school who are trained in counselling, and they are there to help people that have got maybe more serious worries. And also one thing we do as well in your PSHE curriculum, so social studies or PSHE, we have certain lessons that help give you ways to cope with maybe something you're finding a bit difficult. So making new friendships, for example, or maybe sort of worries as you're growing up, or sort of how you're getting older. So on the right-hand side here is our curriculum for year 7. So in term 1, we look at skills for life. So looking at making new friendships, because it's a bit of a scary time, especially if you're somebody who isn't in a group with many people that you went to primary school with. So making new friends, believe me, you'll do it really quickly. And then an introduction to beliefs. Term 2, we're looking at our healthy body and healthy mind. So we're looking at changes to your body and what might be happening over the next few years, and something called puberty. Now, you might already have older brothers and sisters and think you know a lot about it, but we can all learn something new. And then term 3, so we're in term 3 at the minute. This time next year, you'll be looking at relationship boundaries, and then something called introduction to the law. So that along my field, that one. And then safety in and out of our homes as well. So all those are designed to safeguard you and keep you safe. Now, I mentioned before we have a specialist team. Well, this is called our safeguarding team. And you can talk to any adult in school that you feel comfortable with. Any worries you have, they're trained to listen to you. But these 5 people on the screen, these are extra specially trained. So on the left-hand side, and this is going to be based in curriculum support and B block, so you'll find out where B block is, don't worry. You've got Mrs. Howard on the left and Mr. Wainwright on the right-hand side. So some of you might have heard of them already, but some of you might get to know these 2 quite well. They're our safeguarding team. In the middle, we've got the lovely Mrs. Palmer, and also we've got Mrs. Shirt, whose photo's not there. They're our counselling and support team. Absolutely lovely ladies. And they'll people that you might never meet, or you might meet, and they will listen and help you with your problems. And on the right-hand side, we've got our, excuse me, our curriculum support team. So our SEND team, Special Education Needs team. So you've got Mrs. Hodges, who's our SENCO, and then Miss Gibbons, who's our Deputy SENCO on the right-hand side with the glasses. She's also a drama teacher, by the way, and Miss Hodges is an English teacher. So you might see them, or you might never meet them, but they're there if you need them. So this is something that's recently been revised, the Rawmarsh Rules, and it's really clear, to the point rules that you can't not understand. So we arrive to lessons on time. Why? Because you're there to learn. We wear correct uniform. We arrive to lessons fully equipped, so your pens, your pencils, your rulers, etc. We do as we asked, first time of asking. We do not shout, we do not swear, and we do not argue. Really clear rules. Phones. Keep your phone in your bag. I'm not saying you can't have it, but keep it in your bag. And the headphones are not allowed in school at all. So not even in your bag, leave them at home. The amount of headphones and AirPods that we've got that have been lost over the last year, if they're lost, just leave them at home. And then some key terms on the right-hand side, which I said I was going to go through earlier. So CFC, that stands for cause for concern. That means a member of staff is concerned about your behaviour. So they might give you a CFC. So it's a behaviour event. It's a negative point. Hopefully none of you will ever get any of those. Sanctions is not a good place. Sanctions means you're sent to a special room where you're removed from the classroom. And you're removed because your behaviour is impacting on the learning of others. Hopefully none of you will get sent to sanctions. It's not a good thing that you have to be removed. And then if that happens, there's what's called restorative practice. So if you are sent to sanctions, hopefully won't happen, you will get an automatic detention. A text will get sent home to your parents or your carers, and then the teacher will come and speak to you in that detention, and they'll have a chat about where your behaviour went wrong. But hopefully that will never happen. But just so you're aware, they're the terms. So in terms of the behaviour policy, just 3 things. You're given a warning. You may be sent outside to reflect on your behaviour if you've not listened to the warning. And then if you're still not reflecting correctly on your behaviour, you are removed from the lesson. So it's a 3-step thing. So you're given the warning of the Rawmarsh Rules, given a chance to get it right, still can't get it right, reflect, sent outside to rethink your behaviour, make the right choice and come back in the lesson for learning. Still can't get it right, you're removed from the lesson, and that's where you're sent to sanctions. Okay, really clear Rawmarsh Rules there. I mentioned phones before. They are allowed in school, however, in your bag. Now, there are some lessons where teachers will ask you to get them out for a learning activity of some sort. You are allowed them at break times. However, they're only allowed in your rooms. Okay, so if you'll be sent to a specific room to spend your break time in, that's where they're allowed, not on the corridors. And sometimes your teacher might say to you, I've set you some homework. Take a picture on the screen, or they might set it through Sam Learning or some other form or Google Classroom where you can have a look at it on your phone. If it's on the corridor, so for example, changing between lessons, it will get confiscated. The teacher will say to you, can I have your phone, please? What they will do from there, it will be taken to the school safe where it's kept safe until the end of the day where you'll be able to collect it, but you will be given a detention for having your phone out when you shouldn't do. So the easiest thing to do, keep it in your bag until you ask to take it out. Obviously, you can have it at break times if you're in a classroom. Now, there's a good thing here. So I've gone about sort of behaviour and negative there. Let's go good things now. Chromebooks. Now, you might have experience of Chromebooks, or you might have an older sister or brother with one. We are quite a big technology school. We love our technology. So, and we realise how important it is in part of the learning journey. So we want to be able to give you access to that technology. So one thing, this is an absolutely optional scheme. You don't have to do this. So if you want to get a Chromebook, there's 2 options. So you can buy a Chromebook, which is option 1. So you would own that Chromebook, and it costs you £9.99 a month for 3 years. And then it's got some software, so parents, you can monitor what they're doing. Anything that goes wrong with it, it's repaired free of charge. Or option 2, you can loan a Chromebook, so you wouldn't own it, but you can borrow it. So it lowers the cost quite a bit. And what you would do every year, you'd give it back, it get any repairs or updates over the summer and serviced, get a bit of a clean. And then it's given back to you the next year if you choose to carry it on. Obviously, if it is damaged, you would have to pay for the cost of the damage, whereas if you buy it, any repairs are free. So that one's only £22 per year. So it's a lot cheaper, but so you can have a look at both options there. So that's the Chromebooks. Again, I can go through that. You don't need to make a decision straight away on that one. We can have a look at that nearer to when you roll over. And then our reward system. So we love giving rewards at Rawmarsh. CFPs, so CFCs are the bad ones, CFCs are the good ones. Cause for praise. Something as simple as contributing in the lesson, put your hand up. CFP, pushing yourself, working really well, really easy to get CFPs. Get praise points, so that's for maybe your effort. If you've got really good effort overall for that term, you'll get some praise points for that. And your attendance. Golden ties are really snazzy for top boy and top girl of the year. So every year group has a top boy and a top girl. Golden books, so in certain subjects where you've got exercise books for your beautiful presentation, you might get a golden book. Effort rankings, another one where in terms of your behaviour, number 1 is obviously you are the best, but everybody could get number 1. So we could have all 200 and odd of you at number 1 because you're all brilliant. Awards assemblies, where you get certain awards for different subjects. You get your 100% attendance award, Rawmarsh Pledge awards, curriculum awards, so certain subjects, and then the gold, silver, bronze that I mentioned before with the little pin badges. So lots of different rewards to look forward to there. You can see some pictures of the different certificates and prizes. Ooh. And now finally, coming to the end of this, the Rawmarsh Pledge. So the pledge are 3 different areas. What are they? Well, the first one in the red is active citizenship, and that's all about preparing you for life in modern society. Then the orange one is about life skills, equipping you to deal with a range of different life experiences. And then finally, the yellow is British values, equipping you for life in modern Britain. So these pledges are something we're already working with, and you'll get a chance to take part of this when you join us in the end of June, July. So in terms of the celebrating and achieving these different pledges, you're basically doing little tasks and you get your pledge. You get pin badges for each of the 3 pledges that you achieve. So lots more badges. You'll be drowning in badges, maybe potentially by the end of the year. Your jumpers will be really heavy. Taking part, you're learning new skills. One of them is to learn a new skill. And that could be in a subject. So for example, in music, you're learning a new skill. When we do ukulele or when we do keyboard, you are learning a new skill. You get a pledge for that. Or you might do something learning a new language. So if you're doing in German or French or something. And then the real reward, though, is taking part. So you might be able to do some of these outside of school, so helping out in your community. And then there's a ceremony at the end for everybody that completes these pledges. It's a big party and a big celebration at the end of the year. Right, that's enough of me waffling. This is where I'm going to stop presentation, and then I'm going to go back to the chat box. So anything now that you suddenly thought, oh, I need to ask about that, pop it in the chat box now. I'm going to stop presenting. I'm going to come back to you. Let's have a look at this chat. I can have a look. So, let's have a quick. Oh my, there's quite a few. So scroll through the hi everybody ones. I have a question. Let's go. She supports Liverpool. Yes, she does. You have the same. Oh, great. Do they need uniforms starting in July? Yes, they do, Thomas Hart. That's a good question. I'm sure if you speak to Miss Hazard or Miss Glover, they'll be able to help you out with the uniform. But yeah, uniform in July, please. Hi, Jason. I forgot you're in my class. There's quite a lot of chats going on here. I need to. Miss Forshaw, how long is this? Well, I've almost done. What if we get lost and we're a bit late? Don't worry about that. You're going to get lost is fine for the first couple of weeks. Don't worry. No one's going to get in trouble for getting lost the first few weeks. But you will be given a map around the school, and there's lots of teachers to help you and in where you're going. And I'll help you that every morning. Don't worry. Yes, you can walk together. Yeah. She can't see the chat. You're asking how long. Yeah, that's fine. I know I couldn't see the messages. Let's just have a look if there's anything else. Don't think. No. Do I like? Yes, Maya. Is it me or Maya? I absolutely love Foo Fighters. They are one of my favourite bands. I think that's it. Unless there's any other messages, I'm going to stop the recording. If anybody wants to type any more messages, feel free to do so. Let's just stop that recording.